Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and we've got quite a few bits of absolutely excellent information and very good news today. First off, thank you guys so much for getting the channel up over 35,000 subs. That was a goal that we passed a few days ago. Now my videos are made a day or two in advance, so I wasn't able to properly thank you guys in a video until today, so thank you guys so much for that. It's just been an absolutely awesome time getting here, and I can't wait until we hit our next milestone, which I say we go for 40k now. Now, like I did say, there is a giveaway that we're going to be doing in celebration of this milestone. That giveaway will start on Monday, and it'll work like if you've been around here for the past couple of giveaways, very similar to that, and I'll release details on that on Monday's video, so just mark that down. Make sure you guys stick around for that. Again, thank you guys so much for this absolutely incredible milestone that we've managed to pass on the channel. I remember when I got to like my first 1,000 subscribers, I was like, man, this is awesome. There's 1,000 people following the channel. Now we're at a point where it's 35 times that, and again, that's just absolutely awesome, guys, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. And I really do mean it when I say that. I know I say that pretty much at the end of every video, but I really don't know a better way on how to put it. So again, thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough for making this channel possible. Alright, on to the next bit of information. So, they released a new roadmap video, and this time, they actually released a very nice article to accompany it that details everything that they go about in the video. And there is some absolutely just fantastic stuff coming to the game, especially around summer and fall. And you've probably already seen it in the title of the video. Yes, first off, Puerto Rico is coming back in a normal dockyard, and we're getting IJN Light Cruisers, something that I believe I mentioned in my predictions video for the first roadmap stream that they did last quarter, and we're getting those now. So we're going to go into this and look at the details of this. There's obviously more details for some things, like the Puerto Rico event, which is happening this summer, which is just a few months away, versus, of course, the IJN Light Cruisers, which that's not until fall of this year. So obviously they have more details about some things than others. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the summer. So they mentioned for the summer live stream, we're going to go ahead and summer event, we're going to go ahead and skip over the stuff that we've talked about already, like the British battle cruisers, how they're predicted to be, I believe, in early access around this time, and start off with the Puerto Rico. So they mentioned return to Puerto Rico. And by the way, link to this article is in the description down below. Please go check it out for yourself if you want to see all the little nitty-gritty details. So they mentioned the dockyard with Atlantico won't be the last one this year. The next opportunity to build a ship will come at the end of summer. This time, we'll return the pioneer of the dockyard, the Puerto Rico. The first dockyard with Puerto Rico was very complicated and not the most successful from the perspective of its design and mechanics. That is a very simplification of the PR disaster. We've taken all of our mistakes into account and reworked the event design. As all subsequent iterations, starting with Odin, demonstrated, the dockyard in its current format has become a full-fledged part of our game and works well. And it does. On top of that, many players have been asking when we're going to bring back Puerto Rico to the game. That's why we've decided to bring Puerto Rico back on the stocks. We see it as an excellent opportunity to rectify our early mistakes with this feature. It also means you'll be building a tier 10 ship, which hasn't happened since the very first dockyard. Those who didn't manage to build the ship in the New Year update 8.11 or started playing the game later will now have a chance to do so. Obtaining the ship will be much easier than the first time, but it won't be possible to finish the construction for free, same as with previous ships at the dockyard. Okay, so before we go much further, if you're not familiar with the PR disaster, if you're a bit of a newer player, like I said, the Puerto Rico was the first dockyard that they ever did. And you could actually build the Puerto Rico completely for free. And they mentioned this time and time again. And then the Puerto Rico was shown off on the ST server, which wasn't the hardest dockyard ever. The tasks there didn't seem to be too hard. They seemed to be most that an average Joe could do, except until toward the end the damage kind of cranked up. But what many a player didn't realize and what Wargaming didn't clarify is that those versions of the dockyard were sped up for the purposes of the ST server, which is everything's sped up there. You research ships much faster and such because it's a test server. It's meant for you to get your hands on some of these new ships and stuff, take them into battle, and see how they work and stuff, in some cases. And Wargaming didn't clarify that. Then the Puerto Rico was released, and the grind was quite literally nigh impossible. You had to literally give up your summer, your Christmas vacation, and time with your family to grind out the Puerto Rico if you wanted to do her for free, which very, very, very few players actually did. And if you wanted to get the Puerto Rico, you had to fork out hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get it. If you want to know how much, it's around $380, because I did in order to review the ship. That's the first video I had that had a negative like to dislike ratio for some time. And obviously, huge outrage ensued, and thankfully Wargaming did very much learn from their mistakes. And then we got the Odin, which was the next dockyard, which was much easier to do. They were very clear about the missions and such, and you could pretty much do all of it as an average player with no problem. Again, toward the end, some of the missions got a little bit grindy, but again, nothing that your average Joe couldn't do. But you did have to buy the last couple of phases to get the ship, which still meant paying just about, I think the Odin was like $20-ish for a tier 8 battleship, plus all of the goodies that you get from the dockyard. So yes, they have really improved the dockyard. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, I already have Puerto Rico, and I either grinded my life away or pulled out my wallet for it, so what do I get? Well, Wargaming has thought of you. Players who already have Puerto Rico in their ports but still build her at this dockyard will be provided with compensation. We plan to give such players the opportunity to select a bundle with one of the 4 following resources: doubloons, steel, coal, or research points. The amount of whichever resource is in this bundle will be enough to obtain any tier 10 ship currently available for purchase. That, my friends, is what we call equal compensation. You literally get enough doubloons, steel, coal, or research bureau points to get a tier 10 ship. Any tier 10 ship that's available for purchase. Good on you, Wargaming. Go get yourself a cookie. That is an excellent, excellent, excellent solution to this problem. So, obviously, this is a huge, 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 huge step in the right direction, especially considering a lot of times when things go sideways or wrong with the game, and Wargaming makes a mistake that's not very popular, they don't really do too much to correct that mistake, but they do learn from it. This is them actually correcting a mistake and giving fair compensation to those that went through it, and making it easier to get a ship that many a player does wish to obtain in the Puerto Rico. So I think it's an excellent, excellent, excellent decision from Wargaming. I cannot wait for the Puerto Rico to come out, mainly because I get a free tier 10 ship, given that I did get the Puerto Rico. So obviously, fantastic, fantastic news there. But wait, it gets better. Return of operations. As a result of the changes to aircraft carriers in Update 8.0, many AI-related internal tools became outdated. Adjusting aircraft carriers controlled by AI became harder, even impossible. For this reason, some operations were temporarily removed from the game. We're currently actively working with aircraft carriers AI to bring back some operations, for example, Cherry Blossoms, Hermes, and the Ultimate Frontier, back to the game. So finally, they're doing something with operations. Now, they're not new operations, no, but they are bringing back some older ones and some that are quite popular, like Cherry Blossoms and such, and that's great, and I cannot wait for them to continue this and work on new operations Wargaming, because operations are pretty fun. It's a nice PvE element to the game that has been unfortunately missing since, well, any new ones since, God, what, 7, 8, whenever the French battleships came out, I think, is the last time we got an actual new operation, but it's been like almost 3-4 years, so come on, Wargaming, give us some more operations back. But again, good step in the right direction, bringing back those old operations. And the black is coming back, like we've talked about already. I won't go into too much detail of that, but the black is coming back sometime around June, so make sure to keep your eyes open for that. Alright, now, Japanese light cruisers. Now, obviously, we don't have too much information here about these ships because this is in the fall area of the roadmap, so again, information is fairly slim. I will throw up the image that they show the Japanese cruisers. I'm not exactly sure if these are actual light cruiser designs. I'm sure some more of you Navy geeks out there will be able to identify some of these designs. Now, of course, the IJN didn't have too many actual light cruisers in its fleet during World War II, from my knowledge, especially compared to the amount of heavy cruisers that they had. But let's see what they have to say about them. By fall, we'll have added Japanese Tier 5 to 10 light cruisers for testing. Their concept is in development, but we can already safely say that all ships of the branch will have 610mm torpedoes at their disposal, and their torpedo launchers will have wide aiming angles. Bless. As for their main batteries, the Tier 5 and Tier 6 ships will have 152mm guns, the Tier 7 ships will have 155mm guns, and high-tier cruisers will carry 150mm dual-purpose guns. And that's all they have to say about that. So again, not too much information about the Japanese light cruisers, but I'm very, 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 very glad that they are being added to the game. It's about time that the Japanese tech line got some love. It's been quite some time since we've had anything new in the tech line for the Japanese, since the Harugumo. And of course, they do note that the new map, the Faroe Islands, well, let me just read it for you. In addition to the Faroe Islands and continuation of reworking maps and ports to bring them to HD quality, we plan to start working on one more new map. It's currently at the preliminary design stage. We promise to disclose details later when we're ready. So in this one article, we've got the return to Puerto Rico. We've got IJN Light Cruisers. And a new map already being mentioning that they are they going to be testing it by fall? Is it going to be out by fall? They don't say. So I'm assuming that since it's in the fall category, they're planning for it to be out by fall. So we've gone from having no new maps in the past, 2.5 years, to 2 new maps already in the latter half of 2022. So I gotta say, it seems like Wargaming is going on a redemption arc here. They left Russia and Belarus. British battle cruisers are coming out. Operations are returning, and hopefully we'll see some more new ones. We're getting 2 new maps, huge visual improvements, an actual good dockyard ship coming out in dockyard with the Atlantico, and of course Puerto Rico returning as a normal dockyard in IJN Light Cruisers. So I gotta say, Wargaming, this is a very, very, very promising roadmap, and I hope that we do follow this, and that what is mentioned in this roadmap comes out, it's true, and it goes according to plan without any hitches or any other PR disasters. I do not wish to see PR disaster 2.0. So again, some very exciting news, some very good news coming out of the dockyard, out of the roadmap article here. Now there is more here that they do talk about, but lots of this that we've already talked about before, like the economic rework and the French battle cruisers coming out and such. So again, make sure to check this out for yourself in case I missed something that you might have been inquiring about. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 40,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you'll have a wonderful Thursday, a wonderful rest of your week, and hope to catch you guys in the next one.